Israel is practically a fortress when it comes to missiles, but it wasn't always like that. There were times when hundreds of kilometers away, a missile was launched at Israel and there's nothing they could do. This was Israel in 1991. Iraq had Scud ballistic missiles, and when they launched, all Israel could do was watch, powerless to stop them before impact. Their jets? Fast, powerful, but not built for this. So after the Gulf War, Israel made a decision. They needed a new fighter jet, one that wasn't just agile but could go the distance, deep into enemy territory. Enter the F-15I Ra'am, a jet that didn't just change Israel's air force, it changed the rules. Before the Ra'am, Israel had to rely on allies for deep strike missions. But with it, they took matters into their own hands. Today, the F-15I remains one of the most powerful aircrafts in Israel's arsenal. It can hit high-value targets long before they become threats, and its presence alone forces adversaries to think twice. So, what makes it so special? And why, despite newer jets, is this still one of the most feared aircraft in the region? Let's find out. It's 1991. Iraq launches Scud missiles at Tel Aviv. Sirens blare, people run for cover. The Israeli Air Force scrambles its jets, but there's nothing they can do. The launch sites? Too far, hidden deep in the desert, beyond their reach. At the time, Israel had F-16s and older F-15s. Powerful, battle-proven, but neither was built for this. Because this wasn't about dogfights or defending airspace. This was about stopping missile attacks before they even happened. After the Gulf War, Israeli officials knew they needed something more. A jet with the range, the payload, the power to strike deep inside enemy territory. Two options. Lockheed Martin pitched an upgraded F-16 Viper, and McDonnell Douglas offered the F/A-18 Hornet. But then there was the F-15 Strike Eagle. And this was a game changer. More fuel, more weapons, more range. Unlike the F-16, it wasn't limited in payload, and unlike the F/A-18, it wasn't built for carriers. For Israel, the choice was obvious. They called it the F-15I Ra'am Thunder, and with it, everything changed. Before the Ra'am, Israel depended on the US for deep strike missions. Not anymore. Now, they could act immediately. No waiting for approval, no delays. If a threat appeared, they could take it out before it even launched. And here's the thing, the F-15I wasn't just about fixing past vulnerabilities, it was about preparing for the future. By the mid-90s, Iran and Syria were already working on their own missile programs, so Israel needed an aircraft that could strike fast, and the F-15I was built to do exactly that. This wasn't a fighter jet, it was a message. If you threaten Israel, Israel will reach you first. At first glance, the F-15I Ra'am looks almost identical to the F-15E Strike Eagle, but looks can be deceiving, because under the surface, this is a completely different beast. In order to make the Ra'am suitable for Israel warfare tactics, the engineers preceded two of the most important features of the aircraft, the avionics and the helmet system. The avionics in the F-15E are replaced with its own Israeli-made indigenous systems from Elbit Systems and Israel Aerospace Industries. Why? Because Israel fights differently. Regional adversaries like Iran and Syria operate advanced SAM systems. A custom EW suite enables the F-15I to deploy tailored countermeasures, improving survivability against evolving threats. Hughes APG-70 radar and advanced displays, high-resolution terrain mapping, and advanced target tracking improve all-weather strike capabilities. The combination of the Elbit helmet-mounted display and Kaiser HUD allows pilots to engage threats more efficiently. The result? Even in low visibility, the Ra'am can find, track, and destroy targets with pinpoint accuracy. Also, the electronic warfare suite is updated with Israel's unique self-protection jammers and countermeasures similar to the F-16I Sufa. Here's where things get even crazier. Israeli pilots don't just see the enemy, they can fire just by looking at them. The Elbit dash helmet is a game changer. It connects with a synthetic aperture radar and a holographic HUD, allowing pilots to lock onto targets instantly, without even moving the aircraft. The Elbit system allows pilots to lock onto targets just by looking at them, significantly improving reaction time in high-speed dogfights where every millisecond counts. In a region where air battles can be unpredictable, this gives Israeli pilots a crucial edge. Or in simpler words, he can shoot just by looking at the target without turning the aircraft. Custom software ensures seamless compatibility with Israeli-made weapons, avoiding reliance on American software updates. This independence allows Israel to quickly integrate new munitions or make upgrades tailored to its evolving combat needs. Israel uses mainly its own missiles. Instead of using the AIM-9 Sidewinder, they have their own Python missile that is considered more maneuverable with extreme off-bore sight targeting, making it ideal for close-range dogfights. And other missiles are also Israeli-made, like the Popeye long-range air-to-ground missile and spice bombs that are resistant to GPS jamming, an essential feature in electronic warfare-heavy environments. Why not just use American missiles? Because Israel wants full control, no export restrictions, no outside approval needed. Israeli Air Force jets often fly more frequently and undergo extensive upgrades throughout their lifespan. The airframe was reinforced to extend the aircraft lifespan and to increase the payload. It can carry 18,000 pounds of fuel and munitions, and with that a variety of Israeli-made air-to-air and air-to-ground missiles and GPS-guided bombs. The F-15I has longer range than the F-16I and F-35I, and the Pratt & Whitney engines? Upgraded, more thrust, more heat resistance, ensuring reliable operations in harsh conditions and extreme heat of the Middle East. The entire aircraft is specifically modified for the region. The F-15I Ra'am isn't just another fighter jet, it changed everything. For Israel, air superiority isn't just about winning battles, it's about survival. And the F-15I, it gave Israel something it never had before, the power to strike first. The Ra'am became the backbone of Israel's deep strike strategy. High-value targets no longer out of reach, enemy defenses penetrated with precision, external support no longer needed. While specific missions are classified, the F-15I is believed to have been key in striking Iranian weapons shipments, eliminating Syrian air defenses, targeting Hezbollah positions. And it wasn't just about attacking. With bunker-busting munitions, the Ra'am could take out underground command centers and missile sites before they ever posed a threat. The F-15I didn't just change how Israel fights, it changed how its enemies think. Every time an adversary considers moving missiles, weapons, or troops into position, they have to ask, will the Ra'am get there first? And often, the answer is yes. The success of the F-15 Ra'am influenced every major IAF fighter jet decision that followed. Without it, Israel might never have pushed so aggressively for the F-35I Adir. Because while the Ra'am dominates the skies with range, firepower and brute force, the F-35I adds stealth, advanced sensors and electronic warfare. Together, they're a lethal combination. And Israel isn't stopping there. Upgrades to the F-15I's avionics, weapons and electronic warfare suite are already shaping future IAF programs, including potential new F-15EX variants. Despite newer jets, the F-15I isn't going anywhere. Continuous upgrades, new weapons, advanced electronic warfare. Because in a region where threats never stop evolving, neither can Israel's best fighter jet. For decades, the F-15I Ra'am has done more than just fly. It has shaped Israel's entire defense strategy. It's not the newest jet in the sky, it's not the stealthiest. But here's the thing, stealth isn't always the answer. Because sometimes you don't need to sneak past threats, you need to erase them before they happen. And that's what the F-15I does best. Deep strikes, precision attacks, no warning, no escape. New jets will come, technology will evolve, but the F-15I? It's still here, still feared, still rewriting the rules. And as long as Israel needs an aircraft that can reach its enemies first, the Ra'am isn't going anywhere. Until next time, fly high and stay curious.